Marlon Brando's final hours came on July 1, 2004, in a quiet room at UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles. He was 80 years old, his body weakened by decades of struggle, illness, and reflection. The light outside the window faded slowly into dusk, casting a soft amber glow across the space. An oxygen tube rested gently near his face, its rhythmic hiss the only sound in the heavy silence. Nearby sat a faded family photograph, a worn script page from one of his earliest successes, and a simple blanket. His eyes, heavy with the weight of memory, gazed toward that window as time seemed to slow. There were no grand speeches, no dramatic gestures for the world to see. Only a profound calm settled over him, a quiet acceptance of a life filled with immense pain, towering talent, and complicated love. In that stillness, the unfinished business of his existence met the enduring truth of what he left behind. To truly understand this moment of ending, we must travel back through the layers of memory to the very beginning.
That I cannot do.
I'll give you anything you ask.
We've known each other many years, but this is the first time you ever came to me for counsel, for help. I can't remember the last time that...
Marlon Brando was born on April 3, 1924, in Omaha, Nebraska, into a world that often felt cold and indifferent. As a young boy around 8 years old, he sat alone in the corner of a sparsely furnished living room, the air heavy with the scent of neglect and faint rain streaking the windows. His clothes were worn and patched, too big for his small frame, hand-me-downs that spoke of financial strain. His mother, Dorothy, struggled deeply with alcoholism, her absences leaving him emotionally adrift, unseen and unheard. His father, Marlon Sr., a traveling salesman, offered harsh criticism more often than affection, his voice cutting like a distant storm when he was home. The boy watched the outside world from that corner, dreams of performance and connection forming silently in the loneliness. School brought expulsions and rebellion, born from this deep sense of rejection and poverty. Emotional neglect carved early fears of abandonment into him, yet also planted seeds of resilience and intensity that would define his art. Family life only deepened these wounds. The household moved often from Omaha to Evanston, Santa Ana, and Libertyville, Illinois, each new home carrying the same tension. In cramped kitchens, young Marlon tended to his mother during her drunken episodes, her slumped form a symbol of presence without true connection. An empty chair at the dinner table represented his father's frequent disappearances and belittling words that instilled lasting insecurity. His sisters, Jocelyn and Frances, shared the strained bonds amid the chaos. Tragedies unfolded quietly. His mother's institutionalizations felt like closed doors, shutting out hope. Parental separation in 1936 casting long shadows of loss. The family housekeeper offered rare warmth, but her departure to marriage only widened the attachment wounds. Sacrifice and tension shaped him, raised voices in low light, unseen emotional burdens, forging both his fears and his quiet strengths. Yet amid the darkness, fleeting sparks emerged in school plays, hints of a voice that yearned to be heard. The path to acting began with early struggles and relentless rejection in the 1940s. After military academy expulsions, Marlon arrived in New York, auditioning endlessly. He sat exhausted in stark waiting rooms outside Broadway studios, scripts clutched in shaking hands, dark circles under eyes burning with determination. Rejection letters piled like fallen leaves. Casting directors dismissed him with indifferent waves. Lonely night walks through rainy streets carried the weight of hunger for success mixed with gnawing self-doubt. Brief survival jobs as a waiter or elevator operator highlighted constant financial strain. Each no etched deeper resolve. His dog-eared copies of Stanislavski and notes from Stella Adler's classes became lifelines. The emotional toll pressed on slumped shoulders and clenched jaws, building an unyielding drive forged in failure. Then came the breakthrough in 1947. On Broadway at the Ethel Barrymore Theater, Marlon stepped into Stanley Kowalski in A Streetcar Named Desire. Backstage, moments before, his hands trembled not just from nerves, but from electric hope and disbelief as destiny's door finally opened. The raw physicality and vulnerability electrified audiences, marking the underdog finally seen. By 1951, the film version captured that intensity in close-ups, sweat and emotion raw under glaring lights. This turning point blended disbelief with emerging warmth. His famous roles became memories lived deeply inside him. As Stanley Kowalski, brute force met hidden vulnerability. Terry Malloy in On the Waterfall brought dockside tenderness and moral awakening, earning his first Oscar in 1954. Vito Corleone in The Godfather delivered measured power and quiet wisdom, securing a second Oscar in 1972. Colonel Kurtz in Apocalypse Now embodied shadowed madness and inner torment. Johnny in The Wild One roared with rebellious fire. Mark Antony in Julius Caesar commanded with Shakespearean depth. Emiliano Zapata burned with revolutionary passion. Paul in Last Tango in Paris exposed raw emotional nudity. These characters overlapped in his soul, brooding eyes shifting from rage to quiet reflection, showing versatility born of total dedication. He lived inside each role, using art as catharsis for personal demons. Yet behind the scenes, fame brought no glamour, only exhaustion and isolation. Hotel rooms lit by single lamps revealed sleepless nights, pacing amid scattered scripts and pills, reflecting battles with health, obesity, and diabetes. Surrounded by people on sets, he felt profoundly alone. Burnout from feuds, memory struggles, and eccentric demands weighing heavy. Brief escapes to Tahiti offered respite, but underscored deeper loneliness. Emotional burdens manifested quietly, insomnia-filled hours, addiction's echoes in subdued moments, fame's pressure isolating him further. Romantic relationships brought both passion and heartbreak. Marriages to Anna Kashfi in 1957, Movita Castaneda in 1960, and Tarita Teriapaya in 1962 intertwined with numerous affairs, including with Rita Moreno. Love's joys faded into separating hands and reflections dissolving into emptiness. Scandals and complexities affected fatherhood with many children, amid profound tragedies like son Christian's imprisonment and daughter Cheyenne's loss. These bonds shaped his fears of intimacy, blending fleeting warmth with lasting melancholy. In interviews and confessions, Marlon shared whispered truths. Under dim lights near microphones, he spoke honestly about childhood trauma, fame's hollowness, mental health struggles, and deep regrets. Faded echoes of his words lingered, like reflections on pain and fear, feeling intimate and vulnerable,
truths shared not for headlines, but as personal release. Circling back to those final hours, on July 1st, 2004, the quiet room held a sense of release. Breathing labored yet peaceful, personal mementos nearby evoked complicated love and escapes. No distress, only stillness and acceptance as struggles resolved. Time slowed in profound calm. His legacy endures in warm, radiant light. Film reels spin eternally, awards gleam beside fan vigils. Iconic performances echo across eras, Kowalski's cry into Corleone's whisper, faces dissolving into inspiration. Global audiences remain moved. His art transcends the man. The person is gone, but the raw honesty, the human truth, lives immortally through cinema's enduring glow. Marlon Brando's story reminds us that pain forges beauty, struggle births greatness, and legacy is the light that never fades.